Good morning, Flow family. Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys were able to really enjoy this last week of coherence and practice. Hope that by now you guys are becoming more familiar with being able to get to a coherence level and also being able to experience this flow self, this wave and flowy feeling that we achieve when we really get into those high level of coherence. Remember that our coherence is actually the entry door for us to really experience our biofield, our electromagnetic field that is our flow self. This is where our flow self is. Just 2 seconds. Hello, hello. Nice to have you here, Guy. So I was kicking off our session today. It's really just checking out on you guys. By now I think it's something that is more familiar to everyone. Really being able to how do I make my being the main here? Just 2 seconds. I want to make my video the main one. Okay. All right. Okay, let's leave it like that. All right. So what I was saying is like by now, most of us, should be more comfortable with experiencing our coherence and our flow self. Okay. Okay. Just getting a message here from Ray. Yeah. So, and now that we are starting a new week, this is a very exciting week, an incredible week. To me, it's one of the main and one of the most important weeks of the entire program, because this is really where we detach from the most common language and how people are actually touching these subjects of flow and things like that. And this week, it's an incredible week. I'm so excited for you guys. But before I jump into the third week of our master program, I want to connect some of the dots and give a little bit of a timeline on what we did. On the first week, it was all about really understanding the mechanics and the physiology of what's going on when we get into coherence. So it was all about understanding what it is doing with our breath, aligning our nervous system, controlling our heart rate variability, and when our heart rate variability get into the wave, and that wave pattern, it really changes and open up a new experience in our physiology, this optimum state of being. And then we were able to close the first week understanding that this is how we activate the biggest part of ourselves, which is our own biofield, this electromagnetic field that is activated and is strengthened and expanded by our heart. But the moment that we really connect to our heart, because our heart has the highest electromagnetic field in our body, way stronger than our brains. So this is how we closed up the first week, really understanding that this flow that we are talking about, it really comes from our electromagnetic field. Of course, there's all physiological patterns and biochemical, neurochemical reactions that are going on in our body that allow us to really experience this higher part of ourselves. But the reality is that these chemicals and all of this biochemistry and neurochemistry that is happening because we are activating and experience more of our field. Okay, so they are byproduct and not exactly what actually ignites and activates our field so it's the other way around, and most people really just focus on the mechanics and the biochemistry of flow, this flow activity, what flow is. And that's why people really go through the neurobiology, the hormones that are released and all of that, but they don't really do don't go deeper and explain these electromagnetic field, that it is the key. And that's why we talk about flow, and that's why it's flow, because we are flowing in this electromagnetic field. And the second week, this week that we just finished, it was all about giving to you guys and unpacking, truly unpacking what each superpower that we are able to really tap in when we are in coherence, when we are experiencing our flow self, when we are navigating through this electromagnetic field, this biofield, where our flow self actually is. And the superpowers were incredible. And I hope that you guys were really able to understand and have a better idea of the incredible boost in cognitive function, pattern recognition, that really creates the first superpower, which was innovation, that really allowed you guys to perceive the incredible benefit of self-alignment that also comes with as a byproduct of accessing your flow self. And that comes with that you finding your own flow and being able to really align with your highest values, not the highest values that the values that are being imposed onto you from society, from our environments, from our upbringings, but really finding your own, really finding what is really true to yourself. And the coherence, your flow self really brings this as a byproduct. The more that you are experiencing your flow self already knows everything, already really knows what you are about and what it's true for you, your highest values. And the more you are in your flow self, the more these higher values of yours, if it's not super clear right now, they will come to you and become more clear, and you're gonna be gravitating towards them as a byproduct. So and the synchronicities of our reality, things that will come to us, clues, information, people, in so many different ways. It's like the universe and everything is speaking to us and guiding us and taking us to exactly what we need to go and where we need to be. And those synchronicities, they are the signposts saying, okay, here you go, this is us giving to you. And the moment that you start to actually perceive them and acknowledge them, that's when they just start picking up even more. And I hope that you guys are starting to actually experience this. So it's not just me telling you and showing you, it's also you experience that as well as you going through this program. So I know that many of you are already experiencing this, but I really want to make sure that this is across the board, okay? So that was our second superpower. The third superpower was all about emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence, we were able to really realize that it was about us having that complete awareness that we are bigger than any adversity, and that fundamentally everything is always working in our favor. If we have the awareness and the ability to perceive it that way, understand that this is actually the fundamental how things work, we're really able to feel empowered and feel super confident, and really be able to understand that we are bigger than anything, and that allows us to be in a position to really control our emotions, and also be empathetic and understand what other people that doesn't have the same level of awareness that we have, that might be in a lot of pain, we can really connect to them and understand them in this level. And this is the other incredible superpower that we unlock when we are in our flow self, because we experience ourselves way more expanded than just our physical body. We really experience ourselves in this connection with something that is way bigger than us, that is, that allow us to really be empowered, and that's what we're doing when we are experiencing our flow self. So that was superpower number 3. And the fourth one, it was all about the insights and developing our creative problem solving, our creative intelligence that comes from, intuition, insight, and imagination. Because all of these higher faculties, they are not in our physical body. This is not a chemical reaction, our body or our memories and stuff. It's not locally in our physical body. This is all in the field. And the more we are experiencing our flow self, the more aligned we are with the field, and the more insights, intuition, and imagination we get to be able to really shape our be guided and really have that intuition and that guidance and the wisdom of our hearts and our flow self through this connection with our flow self, that allow us to really have that clear stream of intuition, insight, and imagination that really is strengthen our creative intelligence. And this is super important. And in today's age and in the marketplace, all of these superpower are the most valuable skill sets and abilities that you can have, and that the marketplace is really looking for. So that's super incredible. So this is where we stop this is where we finished up and closed up our second week. Okay. And this third week, finally, this is about, okay, now that we know what happened in our physiology, what's going on, we are accessing this, our biofield and our own field in a sense, and we now understand the superpowers. Now the whole point of this week is to actually give you guys the absolute understanding and knowledge of how actually this field of yours actually work, how it communicates, what actually going on, what allow us to actually tap in this incredible amount and source of information and intelligence. What is this? How this is actually imprinted, and how is this communicating? Because we cannot see our field of. We have few devices that allow us to have a measurement and stuff like that, but we cannot see. So how does it actually communicate? How this actually works? And the importance is not just to give you guys more information. The reason why we took a lot of time and put a lot of effort in putting this together and really getting out of the most information that you can find out there, and we connected these dots so beautifully for you, is because we want your brain, your analytical processing, your reasoning to be part of this entire experience. Because once we go to the heart, okay, we open our heart, we experience coherence and all of that, but we don't understand really the mechanics of how this is all happening. So our brain and our reason can sometimes really sabotage and can really say, look, I don't know what's going on. And you can create thoughts that might limit your experience and your level of coherence. And you really not just adopting, but really believing with all your being, not just your heart, but your entire being, your brain and your heart and your entire body will actually know and understand what's going on. And once you have this framework, then it becomes really something like a skill and an ability that you are developing. You know what I mean? Because right now at this stage, it might be something, okay, I like this, I can see the benefits, but it's something that is still may require some level of belief and some level of, okay, I don't really understand what's going on, but I'm just going with it. To really shift into, man, this is incredible. This is exactly what I'm doing is this. And then you start bringing a lot of purpose and intention, not just to your sessions, but to keeping this, your flow self, but keeping yourself in this state, and making sure that even when you are not in coherence, you have this incredible understanding of how things are working and how things are unfolding for you. So it becomes a whole new experience once you really are able to digest this topic of this week. So it's all about understanding the flow and developing a higher dimensional perspective on what's going on, not just when you are in this state, but also on what's going on in all your social interactions, in everything that is happening in your reality. You're going to be able to have a much deeper understanding and a much higher level of perspective on how things are actually working. So this, it's going to empower you to in an incredible level. And I'm so excited to just break it down for you, how we actually going to kick off this week. And really, when you digest and you really absorb what we're going to be discussing through this week and diving deep, this is going to give you a tremendous power of influence over yourself, of influence over other people, and influencing the planet as a whole, because you know the deepest and the most fundamental way that our reality actually works. So that's a very deep level that once you have this, you really change the game for yourself, and you're gonna change the game and the purpose of this entire program and why you're doing what you're doing. You're gonna have a whole different understanding, because you're gonna really understand how to navigate with your flow self, with your biofield. Even if you are not in coherence, even if you are as your personality and identity engaging with your social interactions, you're really gonna be able to be super powerful and impactful, because you're gonna be seeing things through a much higher perspective, and you're gonna be navigating through your flow self, even though you are not in coherence or practicing coherence while you're doing that, because you become that coherence. So it's gonna be incredible. And we're going to kick off. I was going to do a coherence session and ask you guys about how your last week was going, but I think it's just on a really cool flow now, and I'll maybe do a coherence session when we finish. But I'm gonna jump straight in. I'm so excited to break this down. Okay, so we're gonna start the week. The first topic that we are going to discuss, it's about the ultimate influencer. What is this ultimate influencer in reality, in our reality, in whole existence? Because it's fundamental. And this ultimate influencer is the field. Okay, for some of you that are not familiar with the field, and we've been talking about our own field, our biofield, what I want you guys to understand is that our own field is part of a much bigger field, a field that permeates all of existence, everything from the tiniest to the biggest, in terms of the planets and universe, and the smallest of the smallest that you can go. It's all influenced and permeated by this field. And the best of our science today understand, not today, but for decades, they understand that everything in reality is this field. There is no material, there is no particle. The particle, it's actually the fluctuations of this field, and this field connects everything, and that's what we've been talking about. We are all connected. Ultimately, we are all connected. Universe, nature, ourselves, each other. We are all connected by this field. And this field, this is what you're gonna be able to visualize through the videos and the content that we put together to you guys. The thing is that right now, this week, we're gonna jump in a little bit into physics, okay? It might be something that some of you, oh my God, you know, I suck at physics, but don't worry, because because it's so fundamental, it's so easy to visualize, and we got some the videos that are so easy for you to actually visualize and learn from the experts, from the best physicists on the planet today, what actually this is and how this field actually works. Okay, so you're going to be able to see that this field that unifies and connects all of existence is the ultimate influencer of life, of existence. And what you're going to be able to see is, the first thing is like, it's all about this field. It is the ultimate influencer, okay? And this field is intrinsic to all of us, to all of existence. And this field is actually wave. It's absolutely wave. There is no particle, because what the physicists were able to understand and to see now is like the particle is actually a fluctuation of the field, and allow you to actually have that experience of material and of particle. But fundamentally, it is only an expression of the field itself. It is not a particle, a different element. It's just a fluctuation of the field. And these fields communicate through waves, because this field is wave, it fluctuates and communicates through frequency, vibration, and energy. Okay, and that's what we are absolutely doing with our coherency. We are aligning ourselves, aligning our physiology to experience this field, to experience ourselves as our own field that is even more connected to this field. And this field is full of information, full of potential, and everything that it's ever existed and will ever exist in the future, it is in this field already. All the potentials, everything is in this field. So that's why we can access guidance and intuition and the wisdom from our hearts. It's not from our hearts is the point of connection with this field. And that's why we can see things and understand things before they actually happen. We know, because we are connected in the most fundamental way to this field. And right now, what we're doing is open our physiology up to really experience and become more of this field, and become more of this intelligence, this all-knowing that it is this field, this conscious field that we become part of when we are doing coherence. So this first topic, it's going to be amazing. Just watch it, bring your intention and attention to the videos, because it is going to give you an incredible visualization, so you know what this is. And again, this is not me saying, guys, this is the best of physics, the best that we have in science today, because science is something that is always evolving, always changing. It's not meant to be part in one understanding. It is the best that we know right now, and we've known this field for decades. It's just not wildly and mainstream, because people don't really understand that, and they cannot relate. For most people, most scientists, this is all physics department and mathematicians. It's all about calculation. They cannot connect the dots with ourselves, how we are this field and how we are communicating the same way as the field. And this is exactly what we are doing for you guys. We are translating it and making this relevant to our everyday life, to something that we can and we are absolutely engaging with and becoming this incredible power that we were always meant to be when we are in alignment with this field. Okay, so that was the first topic. It's all about understanding this ultimate influencer, which is the field, this unifying field. Okay, and the second topic of this week, if we are going to understand why do we actually call flow? Why is it flow? This is flow because when we are in the field, when we are expanded and we are experiencing reality in this as our own field, we are in the wave nature of reality. It's all about understanding how waves work. And it's not just any wave. It's about light. Light is an electromagnetic wave. Wave and particle, right? Like this is what physicists say, that light has both properties, wave and particle. But the particle side of it is, as you will understand the field before, you understand that the particle happens when there's fluctuation on the field, and the field has a point of detail, a specific point. Just think of the field. Let's say, just want to give you an analogy, like a fireplace. Let's say you have a fireplace in your living room, okay? And your fireplace, when you put the thermometer there, you're going to be able, the fireplace, okay, it's 80 degrees Celsius, okay? But once you measure your room in different areas of your living room, the temperature is actually different. But the whole room is actually affected by these 80 centimeters that it is within this fireplace. But every single point of your room, of your living room, actually will have a different temperature. But that temperature stands alone in that specific place that you are measuring in your living room. And that is the particle, because you could say that like this has a quality of itself, because in this part of my living room, the temperature, instead of being 80 degrees, this temperature here is 45 degrees. But these 45 degrees at this point is standalone. So it's almost like, okay, this is a particle here. It's a particle of the whole, you know what I mean? But in reality, it's only fluctuation of these fields. So just to give you guys a very simple analogy that you guys are going to be able to maybe connect why this becomes a particle, okay? But the light and wave, because the field connects through light, and light, just like energy, light just is. It's fundamental. You cannot destroy it. You can only transform it and change its frequency, okay? And light is something that it's so, like, until today, most people don't understand. Most PhD physicists and all of that, they don't really have a firm grasp on what light actually is. But what we're able to see is like light, it has this duality of wave and particle. Light is electromagnetic in its essence, and that's why we are, again, I'm coming back to what we were able to discuss before, because then you're going to be able to really connect the dots, and that's what I really want, and I want to guide you to connect these dots, okay? So that's why we are connecting with our electromagnetic field, because everything communicates through electromagnetism, and electromagnetism is what holds everything together. Don't forget magnetism. Okay, so holds everything together, permeates everything. Everything that you see in your life that is physical is being glued together through the electromagnetism. And it's not glued together because it's only fluctuation, but that's how you can actually perceive. So I'm talking in this sense. So it's all about understanding the light waves. And once you understand that light, you know, as a wave, light transfer energy and information all the time. It's always transferring energy and information. And light is the smallest smallest amount of energy that can be transferred, and it's called a photon. A photon is, you can't break a photon down. There's no real size. A photon just is, okay, and that's the smallest level of energy that it can be transferred, and that's light, okay, and it's called photons. So when you understand that, when you understand that it's all about the wave, and the wave actually transfers energy and information, that's where you are getting all this information, this expanded amount of cognitive function, the pattern recognition, of intuition, all the superpowers comes from this wave nature of reality that we are learning to experience and navigate. And more that we practice coherence, the more we get familiar with our flow self, with our own field. And when you can experience this wave nature of reality, these waves, every wave has patterns, and these patterns is what actually transfer information. And you might not know, but everything in our modern life actually communicates through the same way. Everything communicates through waves. The wave transfer the information from your text message, from your phone, from radio waves, from microwaves. All the communication happens in this way. And we too communicate in that way. And that's what we are learning. We are learning right now to access the most powerful way of communicating and sending information that we can ever be able to do, to communicate. And it is through this wave nature of reality, through our waves, through our electromagnetic imprints, that we are learning more and more how to operate and to navigate. And that's how you actually can transmit your information to the field and to everything around you, and you can receive information that is aligned with your own frequency. So this is how you are communicating. This is how you communicate with this field that permeates and influences everything. And this is how you can materialize and really live your wildest dreams and everything that you were really here to experience and to live, instead of being just as a particle trying to force things. And you know what I mean? It's a whole new way of navigating and experiencing what you want, because you are generating this from inside out, and you're learning to communicate the most powerful language that the universe and everything can deliver to you what you want in the best way as possible. So this is incredible. And once you understand that everything connects through light and communicate through light, this field communicates through light, and you are communicating light all the time. You just have not realized that. And this is why we're saying it's going to open up a new dimensional perspective in everything that you do, in all your interactions, all of your social interactions. And this is why this is so powerful this week. Okay, so that's the second topic. You're going to understand about why it's flow, why this understanding light is so important, because the field communicates through light, and this light is a wave. And this is the second topic of this week. And the third topic, it's even more incredible, because after we understand the field, we understand that the field communicates through light, and light, you know, as a wave and all of that. And the videos are incredible. So please take your time to go through it, because we know that right now we're going a little bit into physics, but believe me, this is so fundamental. And the moment that you understand this and you get this and you digest this, this is going to absolutely change your relationship with the program, your relationship with the coherence, and absolutely your relationship with your flow self. And you're going to be very powerful and very influential in everything that you do from now on, the moment that you digest and you understand this, okay? And because we understand that we are communicating light all the time, What we are able to do on the third topic of this week, we're going to understand the dynamic of light, the dynamic of waves, because light is a wave. So we have to understand the dynamic of waves. What happens when waves are interacting with each other? Because in a fundamental way, this is exactly what is happening. Anytime, any given time, this is what happening. We are communicating light. We are communicating through waves. We, other people, the environment, everything is communicating with this universal language that you are learning how to communicate right now. And once you understand these waves, guys, if I'm going too fast, if it's something like that's not being able to, you guys not being able to actually digest or understand, ask me right now. That's fine. You can just like excuse me, and I'll try to make it even more clear. But also understand that this is something that you're going to be able to digest even more at your own time. Okay, like I'm giving you a resume and connecting the dots for you. And then when you can actually digest and go through the videos, you're going to be able to have a framework and a foundational understanding. And it's going to be way easier for you to, now I understand what he was saying. Now I see this, because this is a little bit more technical. But if you have anything that you're not understanding, that's okay. Like you just lost me right now. Please just ask me. Don't be afraid to interrupt me, because I'm more than happy to clarify. Okay. But okay, going back to the topic of understanding the dynamic of wave, it's so important, because then we're gonna really understand how this communication actually works. What happens when the waves interfere? What happens when my broadcasting station is interfering with Daniel's broadcasting station? What's going on in this social interaction? Can we perceive this in this wave nature of reality? We absolutely can, and this is really where we really elevate the game for ourselves, when we have an incredible edge that 99.9999999% of the population of humanity have no idea about. And right now we are the leading edge of humanity that is actually able to understand and decode this communication that is present, universal communication that is present. And the third topic is going to be really understanding about interference of waves. What happens when waves interact with themselves? This is what's going on at all the time. When my waves interaction with Danielle, is that Danielle is at the same level and the same frequency. We excited about the same things that when we're talking. What happens is a constructive interference where our two vibration, our two frequencies, the waves that we are communicating, they amplify each other and they get the double of the power. And that's why it's so important to be around and to have a team of people, to have your friends that align with you, because when you come together, you become super powerful. And this happens in all levels, in business as well. And that's why we're bringing this higher level of understanding, so we can maximize our results and maximize the flow in our life, the abundance, and the benefits, and all these positive things in our lives, when we understand that this is what's happening. So if we are the same frequency, the same level of excitement, we're going to amplify each other, amplify this incredible wave that we are sending to each other. And when it's not at the same level, when like one is talking, saying about something that is, and the other one is like, one is looking at solution, the other one's just looking at problem, what happened then? A high frequency wave bumps into a low frequency wave, and what they do, they cancel each other out, or they, the one that is higher goes lower, and the other one that is lower goes a little bit higher. But the whole thing is like they, cancel each other out. And you can see that in your interactions. You are never able to actually perceive it this way, but this is what's going on. And this is all, I feel this way, like I'm not feeling good, because your wave is being interfered with a lower wave that is bringing you down. And this is how you're going to be able to absolutely see your interactions. Not just being able to understand that, but also understand that you also have your own profile on how you are transmitting and absorbing and reflecting your wave, because then we're going to really go deep into how wave behaves, because once we understand that, we can then translate this into all of our social interactions, all of our daily life interactions. We're going to be able to perceive and have this perspective of how things are happening in this wave nature of reality. And that really empowers us and allow us to really navigate as our flow self at all times. We're gonna, well, sorry guys. We're gonna be able, we will do another 5 minutes and then I'm gonna restart, but we nearly there. So when you're able to see that you have a profile and you also are in these levels of absorbing others' ways, you're reflecting other people's ways, and you are transmitting your own wave. And there is profiles that fit into to those levels of how the wave nature of reality is going on, how you are communicating through this light. It's going to be incredible. And the profiles, they have three levels: the absorption level, and they have the reflector level, the reflection level, and the transmission level. And we have five profiles, five different profiles. The first one is an absorber. Who is someone that has a profile absorber? Usually someone that is so set in their ways, that people that are so stubborn, people that have a problem for every single solution that you have. Those are absorbers, because they are absorbing everything. They're not allowing things to flow through them. They get stuck in their own way. They get dense, and they are called absorbers. These people, it's so hard to have a relationship with, because they're trying to control everything. Everything has to be the way that they see it, the way that they want to control it, because they have deep traumas. And the way that they combine, like they control their fears of everything is by controlling. As long as they are in control, how unfolding, they need so much fear. But it's just an absolutely detrimental way of living, and you cause a lot of illness in yourself. You live in a miserable way. But there's a lot of people out there that are absorbers, and you're gonna really be able to pinpoint who they are. You know what I mean? It's gonna be, oh man, this guy's an absorber. It's gonna be really hard to get through to him. You know what I mean? And then you're really gonna have to maximize your transfer, your transmission abilities. Okay. And then there are the reflectors. Okay, the reflectors, they actually have three different profiles. The first one is a reactor. A reactor is usually it's someone that reflects everything, all the pain that they have, all the traumas that they have. In a sense, these people are not very traumatized, but they like things happen the way that they see, the way that they plan. And when things go differently and strike one of their traumas, one of their pain, those people are explosive. They're gonna tell you what, they're gonna, you know, this is how it is. They're gonna tell you exactly how they see, and that's what is true to them, because that whatever press their button, whatever touch one of the things that they have, they're gonna just react and explode. Okay. Mic is on. Okay. Guys, look, what I'll do, can you guys log in again, because we have 5 minutes on this one. I'm gonna close and I'm gonna start again, so I can then talk about more these profiles, and then we go to the last topic, and then we can wrap it up. Okay, thank you. Let's do it.